Your soulmate saying, I have to warn you. Something happened today. Open this right now. My beloved child, stop for a moment, because your soulmate needs you to hear this before you move any further. Something happened today that changed the way they see you, and they have been replaying it in their mind ever since. They wanted to reach out, but something held them back, so this message found its way to you instead. Don't skip, because the next few moments may reveal why their energy suddenly feels different, why their thoughts keep returning to you, and why today became a moment they cannot simply forget. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the most surprising part is that this began with something they noticed about you. Earlier today, your soulmate experienced a moment that felt strangely connected to you. It could have been a word, a memory, a familiar place, a song, or something completely unexpected that instantly brought your face into their mind. They tried to ignore it, but the feeling became stronger. Then came the realization they were not prepared for. They may have misunderstood you for much longer than they ever admitted. Something they once believed about your silence, your distance, or your behavior suddenly looked completely different. And that realization shook something deep inside them. Don't skip now, because this is where the story turns. They began wondering whether you had been waiting for them to understand something without ever saying it directly, and the answer they reached may change what happens next between you. But there is one detail from today they cannot get out of their head. Something reminded them of the exact moment when they first realized you were different from everyone else. They remembered the little things, the way you made them feel seen, the way your presence stayed with them even after you were gone, and the strange comfort they could never fully explain. Then a thought appeared that they could not push away. What if I'm running out of time to say what I should have said? That question is the reason this message feels urgent. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Because what happened today was not just another ordinary moment in their life. It awakened a truth they had been trying to keep quiet, and the next part reveals what they discovered about you that they never expected to discover. My beloved child, there is something your soulmate realized after that moment today, and this is where everything becomes much deeper than you expected. They did not simply remember you, they started connecting pieces of the past that they had ignored before. A small detail suddenly made sense. A feeling they once dismissed suddenly had meaning. And the more they thought about it, the more they wondered if they had been looking at your connection from the wrong direction all along. Don't skip, because the next realization is the part they never saw coming. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and this message is moving toward the exact truth they have been holding inside. Then something happened that made them pause completely. They saw, heard, or remembered something that reminded them of you so strongly that for a few seconds, everything else seemed unimportant. Their mind immediately went back to your conversations, your eyes, your energy, and even the moments when neither of you had anything to say. And suddenly they understood something. Your silence may have been saying more than words ever could. They began asking themselves whether you had already sensed what they were feeling. Whether you had noticed the hesitation. Whether you had quietly understood the emotions they were too uncertain to express. Don't skip now, because this is not where the story ends. The biggest realization came after this. Tonight, your soulmate is carrying one thought they cannot easily escape. What if this person has been closer to my heart than I ever allowed myself to admit? That question changed everything inside them. They began imagining what would happen if they finally stopped pretending they were unaffected. They imagined hearing your voice again, seeing your reaction, and finally saying the words they have rehearsed silently more times than you could ever know. And then came the moment that made today unforgettable. They realized there is something they need to tell you before another opportunity passes. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Because the next revelation is about the one thing they discovered today that made them look at your connection in an entirely different way. My beloved child, something shifted the moment your soulmate finally admitted the truth to themselves. They had been trying to understand why your memory keeps returning at the most unexpected moments, but today they stopped searching for an explanation and simply listened to what their heart was saying. And what they felt surprised them. They realized this connection was never about one perfect conversation, one perfect moment, or one dramatic sign. It was about the way your presence continued to matter even when you were not around. Don't skip, because this is where their realization becomes impossible to ignore. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the part they are about to understand next may completely change the way they approach you. Then came the memory they had been avoiding. They remembered a moment when you were genuine with them, perhaps more genuine than they were ready to be at the time. They remembered your patience, your words, and the feeling they carried afterward. Back then, they may have acted as though it meant nothing. Today, they finally understood that it meant everything. That memory made them ask a painful question: did I make this person feel like their feelings were not important? And suddenly, their entire perspective changed. They began seeing the moments between you differently, the pauses, the unanswered thoughts, the things left unsaid. Don't skip now, because the most important part is still ahead. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with the truth they finally stopped running from. And here is the part your soulmate never expected to discover today. They realized that what they miss most is not simply having you around, it is the feeling they experience when they know you are there. That realization hit deeper than any memory. They started imagining a future where they finally communicate honestly instead of leaving everything hidden behind hesitation. They wondered whether you would still recognize the sincerity in their eyes, whether you would still listen, and whether there could still be a moment where both of you understood each other without pretending. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Because your soulmate has reached the point where one simple question is becoming impossible to silence, and the answer could reveal exactly what they are planning to do next. My beloved child, tonight something inside your soulmate finally became clear, and it happened in a way they never expected. They were going through an ordinary moment when suddenly, one thought about you appeared so strongly that they stopped whatever they were doing. It was not just a memory this time. It felt like recognition. They started remembering every little moment they had overlooked, the conversations that stayed in their mind, the emotions they never explained, and the strange feeling that somehow, you were never truly out of their thoughts. Don't skip now. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. And the next realization is the reason their heart feels completely different tonight. Then they asked themselves a question they had avoided for far too long. Why does this person still matter to me this much? They tried to find a simple answer, but nothing felt simple anymore. They realized that even when life became busy, even when time passed, even when they tried to focus on everything else, something about you continued to pull their attention back. And today, they understood that maybe they were not missing a moment with you, maybe they were missing the possibility of what the two of you could become. That realization created a completely new feeling inside them. They began imagining one honest conversation where nothing is hidden, nothing is misunderstood, and both of you finally say what has been sitting quietly inside your hearts. Don't skip. Stay right here, because the next part reveals what they suddenly realized they should have told you much earlier. And then came the most unexpected thought of the entire day: what if they were waiting for me to make the first move? That question stayed with them. They started wondering whether your silence was actually giving them space to decide, whether your distance was protecting your heart, and whether you had been waiting for them to show genuine intention instead of simply making promises. Something huge is waiting for you, so stay till the end. Don't skip, because your soulmate is no longer thinking only about the past. Their mind has already started moving toward what could happen next. And there is one specific thing they want you to understand before they finally reveal what has been on their heart all this time. My beloved child, the moment your soulmate made that realization, something unexpectedly emotional happened inside them. They started thinking about the version of you they may have misunderstood, the version who stayed quiet, stayed patient, and perhaps walked away without explaining every feeling. Suddenly, your silence looked different to them. It no longer felt empty. It felt like there were words behind it. Words they may have been too distracted, too uncertain, or too afraid to understand before. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and your soulmate is getting closer to the one truth they have been trying to understand all day. Then they remembered something you once said, something that seemed small at the time but feels completely different to them now. They replayed the situation in their mind and wondered, were they trying to tell me something without actually saying it? That question stayed with them. They began realizing how many moments between you carried meaning they never fully noticed. A look that lasted longer than expected. A conversation that ended too quickly. A goodbye that somehow stayed in their thoughts. And suddenly, they understood that maybe the connection was never as simple as they tried to make it. Don't skip now, because the next realization is even more powerful. They are beginning to understand why your presence has remained unforgettable even when everything around them kept changing. But here is what happened next. Your soulmate imagined seeing you again, and instead of wondering what they would say, they wondered what you would feel. Would you still recognize the emotion behind their words? Would you believe them if they finally opened their heart? Would you give them the chance to explain everything they could never explain before? That thought touched something deep inside them. And for the first time today, they understood that the next chapter cannot be built on guessing. It has to be built on honesty. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because your soulmate has reached a point where they are no longer asking whether you matter. They are beginning to ask themselves what they are finally willing to do about it. My beloved child, something changed again the moment your soulmate stopped thinking about what happened before and started imagining what could happen next. For the first time, they pictured a future where the two of you were not constantly wondering what the other person meant. No guessing. No hidden emotions. No unfinished conversations. Just two hearts finally being honest about what they feel. And that picture affected them more than they expected. They realized that what they truly want is not another temporary moment with you. They want clarity, sincerity, and a connection that feels real. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the realization coming next may explain why today felt so different. Then they remembered the exact quality about you that first made you unforgettable. It was not simply your appearance, your words, or one particular memory. It was the feeling they experienced around you. Somehow, you made them feel understood without demanding an explanation. And today they realized how rare that feeling actually is. They began comparing other moments in their life to what they experienced with you, and nothing felt quite the same. That realization made them wonder whether they had spent too much time trying to understand the connection logically when their heart had already recognized it. Don't skip now. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and there is one final piece of today's realization that your soulmate cannot stop thinking about. Tonight, they are thinking about the words they would say if you suddenly appeared in front of them. At first, they imagined saying something simple. Then the emotions became deeper, and the words became more honest. They want you to know that your presence mattered more than they showed. They want you to know that certain memories never disappeared. And most importantly, they want you to know that the distance between you did not erase what they felt. But there is still one thing holding their heart at the edge of this decision. They are wondering whether you would still be willing to hear them. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Because the next part reveals the one question your soulmate keeps asking themselves tonight, and the answer may be the clearest sign yet of what they truly want from you. My beloved child, your soulmate has reached the moment they were trying to avoid, because today forced them to look directly at a feeling they could no longer explain away. They kept asking themselves why your memory still carries so much weight, why certain moments with you remain so vivid, and why the possibility of hearing from you still changes something inside them. Then they realized the answer was much simpler than they wanted to admit. They never truly stopped caring. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and what they understood next may be the most honest realization they have had about you. For a while, they wondered whether you had already moved forward without them. That thought made them imagine a future where they finally gathered the courage to speak, only to discover that the opportunity had already passed. And suddenly, they understood why today felt so important. They do not want another unfinished chapter. They do not want to keep wondering what might have happened if they had simply been honest at the right moment. They began thinking about the first words they would say if they could sit with you again, words that would not be designed to impress you, but words that would finally tell you what they have carried quietly inside. Don't skip now. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next realization goes even deeper. And then came the thought that completely changed their perspective. Maybe the real reason they kept thinking about you was not because they were trapped in the past, but because some part of them still believes there is something unfinished between you. That possibility made them emotional. They imagined your face, your reaction, and the silence that might come before either of you finally speaks. They realized that if another moment ever comes, they do not want to waste it pretending everything is ordinary. They want to be genuine. They want you to understand what you mean to them. And now, one final thought keeps returning to them again and again. If I had one chance to tell them everything, what would I say first? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the answer to that question is about to reveal the message your soulmate has been trying to send all along. My beloved child, the answer finally came to your soulmate when they least expected it. And suddenly, all those confusing emotions started fitting together. They realized the first thing they would tell you is not a complicated explanation, not a perfect excuse, but something incredibly simple: I never stopped thinking about you. That sentence kept echoing through their mind because they finally understood how many times they had tried to move past the connection, only to find their thoughts returning to you again. Today made them realize that some feelings do not disappear simply because people stop talking about them. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next realization reveals why they are becoming more certain about what they want. Then they imagine the conversation they secretly wish they could have with you. They pictured sitting across from you and finally removing every layer of hesitation. They would tell you about the moments they remembered, the things they wished they had handled differently, and the emotions they kept postponing. But most importantly, they would tell you that your importance was never measured by how often you spoke or how close you were physically. Even during quiet periods, something about you remained present in their thoughts. That realization made them understand something powerful. Perhaps the connection did not need constant attention to remain meaningful. It simply needed honesty. Don't skip now. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next thing they realized is exactly what makes today different from every other day. Tonight, your soulmate is no longer asking, "Do I still feel something?" They already know the answer. The question has changed completely: what am I going to do with what I feel? And that question has created a new kind of determination inside them. They know that feelings alone cannot build something meaningful. Someone has to communicate. Someone has to take a sincere step. Someone has to stop leaving important words trapped inside their heart. And today, they started imagining themselves finally doing exactly that. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next message is not about what your soulmate remembers anymore. It is about the one thing they are now seriously considering doing next.